Hi, I'm Michelle G. Rogers, and I'm about to show you how you can help release the muscles and tension through your lower extremities or your feet and your ankle areas. So some people have problems such as plantar fasciitis, or maybe you've had shin splints, maybe you're learning to be a barefoot runner like I am, or maybe you have flat feet and you've been told that was hereditary. There's lots of things that we've been told are impossible to reverse, and we get orthotics and all sorts of fun things to basically change the way we move instead of actually changing our muscle structure. So I'm going to teach you how you can roll out and massage your calf area, which are all the extrinsic muscles that control your feet and your arches. So we have a couple of different kinds of body structures. Myself, you can see I kind of have more of a higher arch. So when I walk, my weight sort of stays on the outside of my foot. So you can look down at your feet or stand up and look down and tell which body type you sort of lean towards if you don't already know. Some people are just neutral and they're sort of straight on and their feet are flat and they have a little bit of an arch, but their control is not so far off the straight and narrow. And then we have more flat-footed people who maybe have fallen arches or no arches at all. They pronate, maybe you're getting a bunion. These kinds of things, people tend to sort of land on the inside of their foot. So we're going to start with the basic motion that pretty much everybody will benefit from. And this is a time where you can use either your rolling pin or your little dumbbell and some kind of higher surface like your yoga block or a big thick book. So the first thing we're going to do is find that area where your bigger calf muscle meets sort of the lower part of the leg. And you're going to place that right over top of the rolling pin or your dumbbell. You're going to cross your other leg over, and already with the weight of your other leg, you may start to feel that tenderness. That is indeed what we're looking for, so don't shy away from it. This process can be a little painful, and that's pretty much what we're looking for, the tenderness and the pain. So when you find that spot, and you want to make sure you have a spot, what we're going to do is follow the same process for every little tender spot that we hit. So the bottom foot is going to rotate twice in each direction. And then I want you to really think about, what does that rotation look like in your ankle? Are you just moving around sort of choppy? Are your toes moving more than your ankle? So most of us have a lot of limited mobility through that ankle joint, and this is going to help improve that. So pay attention to it, get to know your body. So you go twice in each direction, and then you stop, because we could do this all day, you'll find that tenderness. You're gonna roll 4 times right there in that spot that you're in. And you'll probably feel what I'm talking about, because pretty much everybody has a trigger point right there. And those trigger points pretty much do point to the knots and the plantar fasciitis and the kinds of things that control your foot that kind of go awry. So after that middle spot, you're going to roll down maybe an inch or so, find the next spot, and follow that same process. Twice in each direction with the ankle, and then little rolls, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll just go one more time down the center there, but feel free to keep moving with it and follow your body. I'm just directing you and telling you where to start, but really you've got to listen to your body, because it ultimately will guide you to where you need to go. And the more you do this, the more you'll figure it out. So that was the center, where you were pretty much straight on there. For somebody like me, who has a higher arch, the outside of my ankle is going to be a little bit more tender than the inside. So you can try this. Everybody should explore the whole area, but you would follow that same process, 2 circles in each direction, and then a little roll, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe keep working your way down your ankle. Then you want to try to get a little bit more on the inside of the leg. So you start always back up at that top point where your bigger calf muscle meets which is essentially the Achilles tendon, and crossover. This is a little awkward. You don't have to hold your body weight up, and if you're getting tired sitting up like this, you can always lean back onto your forearms or take a break and come back to it. But we're going to do the same thing, 2 circles each direction, and then little rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just work your way all the way down towards your ankle bone, but you don't want to go too far because it gets kind of, that thicker tendon muscle there. So we get rid of your rolling pin or your dumbbell, and we pick up a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, something that's kind of dense. You can use a golf ball, but that'd probably be more likely to get sort of lost in your calf muscle, so this is a good size. And we're going to follow a slightly different pattern for the upper part of your calf. So this is your gastrocnemius muscle. There's lots of other smaller muscles that control your toes and your arch. And it's easy to sort of get lost in the thickness of all that. So we use the ball instead of a longer apparatus like the dumbbell or the rolling pin. So what you're going to do, same thing, feel around, just you don't want to fall off of your book or your yoga block, so be careful where you're going with it. Look for a spot, compress it with your other leg as best you can, and we're doing the same circles, 2 in each direction. But this time, instead of rolling back and forth because you'll just lose the ball, you're going to flex your foot as far back as you can with your toes and then slap the foot down like you're pointing your toe. And you do that 4 times. 3 and 4. And same idea. Feel around. Circles in each direction. Make sure you find a tender spot or a knot, because the only way to do this really wrong is to waste your time on some place that doesn't actually hurt. So just feel around, again, inside of your calf, outside. Everybody is a little different, so just explore. And you're going to follow that same exact method on your other leg. And then this is something that you want to do every other day or so. If you find lots of fun things, you just keep coming back to the spots that you know are a problem for you. Now that is the one place to start. Now I talked about the high arch or the flat arch. The other thing that you want to do if you have more of a flat arch, and this is a little tougher to get to, you have your sort of sharp shin bone, okay? You want to sort of palpate with your thumbs right under it as if you're trying to find the muscle that lies right against the bone. So if you press in with your thumbs, you're sure to sort of find that tenderness, and most people, even if you don't have a flat arch, you'll find that it's a little tender. That muscle is called the posterior tibialis. It directly controls your arch. It is the most important muscle that controls your foot, and it is so hidden back there, you don't know how to stretch it or get to it. So we're going to use our lacrosse ball or even a golf ball for this, will work well. And you're going to sort of dig it under your bone, just like you did with your thumbs, and look for a spot. And this is one area where you're just looking to massage it. You can just use your thumbs here, but some people get a little tired. Just make sure you're pressing hard enough, because sometimes people just sort of roll away from it a little bit and can't find it anymore. Just make sure you're not on the bone itself. You're just right underneath it. And again, you're just feeling around and letting those adhesions relax a little bit. And that'll pretty much help to release the arch muscles that are working too hard trying to fight your flat foot. And then we can talk later about how you strengthen your arch overall, but for now we're just stretching. So anytime you have any questions, again, you can consult the little primer that goes along with this that's written out, and rewatch it, repeat for one leg and the other, and we'll talk later about stretching.